There we go. We're back. Pro Cyclist on Pro Cycling Manager 2025. Another live stream with Teddy Pikachu. And I can't wait to get started. Welcome to the chat, Orlando and Julien. Hope you're having a pretty good week so far. Vuelta's behind us. World Championships are coming to time trial pretty soon. Tomorrow, actually. So we've got some good cycling coming. But we've also got some good cycling coming in Pro Cycling Manager. So I'll jump straight in. Why not? Let's go straight into our game here and take a look where we are at, because we're on the 22nd of September 2026. If I take a look at rider data, we can see that my boy is actually a pretty good rider at the moment, Teddy Pikachu. If you are new to the series or you're popping in this live stream not having seen the previous episodes, then our goal with the series is to create a pro cyclist that can balance the force within the cycling world. We've got Tadej Pogacar, dominant, OP. On the other side, we want to build someone else, someone that can also counter that. And I think Teddy Pikachu is on his way to do that, because we're trying to make a super complete rider. We selected 2 axes of training as his specialties when we started this playthrough. And those specialties were Northern Classics as the first one and Climber as a second one. And we can see that in his current stats, because Northern Classics, 76 cobblestone at the moment. And then climbing, 76 mountain, 77 medium mountain is our current strength. Also 77 acceleration and really strong secondaries. We trained our hill stat quite a bit in the last couple of months, so that was epic. Because we really noticed in the last season, especially at the end of 2025, the first season, that we were not punchy enough to remotely compete even against continental punchers. Because we're playing on 1.10 difficulty, so my opponents have 10% more stats than they usually do. So it's a bit difficult. Time trial is something we need to work on in the coming season, I think. But let's take a look at chat first. Ryan says, Teddy! Yes, indeed, Teddy Pikachu is here. Max asked, do you have a brother Oliver? That's a good question. Arne says, new stream. Yes, indeed. Hiking Buddy says, when will Pogacar be brave enough to face Pikachu in a race? That's a very good question, but I think it might be next year. I think it might be season 2027, but I don't think I'll be ready to counter Pogacar yet in those races, but guess we'll find out. Nonetheless, let's jump into this, shall we? Okay, calendar-wise, we are pretty close to the end of the 2026 season. We had a couple races last time that did not exactly go that well. We got 3rd, 2nd, 7th, 4th, and 9th, so not a single victory. Actually, we did. We won the Japanese National Championships ITT last time, so we are double national champion. Pretty good, shall we? Yarno in chat says, when you would ride the World Championships with Teddy Pikachu? I'd like to do it in the next season, but I'll have to jump into the save file and see if I can make that happen somehow. So that's the approach that I'm going with. Nonetheless, we were going to take a look at the calendar, because we've got 3 races left in this season, but more than 3 race days. First of all, the Oita Urban Classic Road Race. We know Oita because our first team, Sparkle Oita Racing Team, was from this region. It's a punchy uphill sprint, so is Levgonov here? Yes, he is, so he'll most likely win, but we'll try to compete. Nonetheless, we also have the Tour de Kyushu, which first stage we could potentially get away on that final hill. Then we've got ooh la la, I like stage 2. I reckon that's something we can work with. Stage 3 is more of a versatile sprint once again, so that's going to be more difficult to win for our boys. And then we've got Utsunomiya Japan Cup Road Race, the last race of the season, and this has World Tour teams. Yes, indeed. IPT is here, Little Trek is here, Sudal Quickstep, so pretty solid riders, but parkour is quite hilly, so I reckon we can be competitive here, because I expect this race to be a bit selective. Okay. I'm so cool, right? Asks, hi Benji, how's your day going? Pretty good so far, pretty good. Haven't done much. I slept over my clock this morning, my alarm, so not the greatest start to the day, but hey, we're making content. We can't complain, and later today I'll do a bit of a, not necessarily an FTP test on the bike, but some kind of test to see where I am when it comes to my training. because I've got a bit of training planned the next month and I want to see what my training zones are. Julian says, better question, well, when you finally ride a Northern Classics race? I reckon it's gonna take a while. Because, actually, I'm not sure about that. For the people that missed it, last episode, let me show you. We signed a contract with the Unibet Titama Rockets, and I expect that team to ride the Cobble Classics, so I assume that next season we will ride those Northern Classics races. But it sure as hell won't be this season with our current team, Kina Japan Airlines. Hello, Adam, welcome back. Or welcome, if this is your first live stream. Anyway, let's take a look now. Training should still be alright. We are now working on physical, because we want as much XP as possible by the end of the year. And I also want to upgrade stage races one more time if the game allows us to, which I actually don't think it will allow us to. So I don't expect that upgrade to come. I think we're mostly going to get extra XP here. Anyway, we'll find out. Nonetheless, let's jump into it, shall we? Let's go towards our first race, which is in about 14 days in game. Nah, a bit less than that. Nonetheless, let's start simulating. When are you moving to a Tour de France team? Good question. I don't think I'll stay with Unibet Titama Rockets eternally in this playthrough. So I assume we're most likely going to dip out of that team at the end of next season and then go towards a team that 100% has a World Tour access to all races. Is this game free? This game is not free. It's available on Steam, but it is paid. It is not free. It's also a PC game. A lot of people keep asking me, oh, is it available on macOS? Is it available on PlayStation, on Xbox? No, it's not the case. It's a PC game on Steam. Ooh. XP gain from the previous month, 174. That's insane. What the hell, chat? I know my training was doing all right. Like, for the people that missed it earlier, I accidentally had my webcam on it, but I'm training physical, which means that I gain 5 XP for every single one of these that I train, and because I'm stacking them, I'm gaining lots of XP per month. So we're cooking up experience at the moment. Almost level 12 just by skipping to the 1st of October. That's insane. I'm not complaining though. I'm welcoming it. There's a bit of a spider web hanging here. How did that arrive here? That's odd. Kunschouten asks, what do you think about the newly announced Velo Victory game? I'll try to make a video on it next week, and I don't want to spoil too much about my opinions on it before that, but it's always good that there's a competition for Pro Cycling Manager within the world of cycling management games, because PCM's the only one that exists, basically. So it's good that we have other ones popping up, especially because it's made by David Apuit, who makes PCM Plus, game modification for this game, and also the World DB team, which everybody who played Pro Cycling Manager knows the World DB team. Where does this spider web keep coming from? Am I imagining things? Jesus. Anyway, Oita Urban Classic Road Race. That's where it's at for us. We've got, hopefully, a rider that can do something here. Yeah, we are 6th favorite. Axel Mario is the favorite. We've been against him quite a few times, but I said it earlier, Lev Gonov will be the man to beat because he's got a sprint stat. Okay. I guess we'll jump in and see what we do, because we're in pretty good fitness, 95%, not something like 80, so I reckon we should be competitive for at least a podium spot here. So let's try to do that, but if you look at the parkour, there's no real point of attack here. So I assume it's going to be sprinting from the peloton for us. That's my assumption. Anyway, let's simulate. No, not let's simulate. Let's jump in the game. I think the spider web is coming from a microphone, which is terrifying. I'm not a Spider fan. I'll be honest. Anyway, leader outsider finish in the top 10. That should be possible. A -1 on the day, but it's not massively impacting our stats, so it's not the end of the world. I do want to be relatively well positioned here, so let's stay at the front here on, let's say, 85. We don't need to go in the breakaway. No, we don't, so let's not do that. I'll check the chat in a second. Sorry for the focus on the game here for a second. I'll let Sugeno protect me because that man is absolute rubbish. And let's do ×4 for now because I assume a breakaway will form and we're not exactly the team that needs to control that breakaway. So let's skip towards the final of this race, shall we? Okay. Do you ever go for potential when leveling up? Yes, we've done it early on in this playthrough. I don't remember what we took or why we took it, but it was because one of our stats is a stat that we need a bit higher to achieve our goal, which is an all-around rider. So that's why I went with a potential upgrade at some point. And I will probably do that again at some point if I feel like... I tend to do it at the moments where I feel like my rider is coming up to a stat level where I feel like I'm a bit OP within the current team that I'm at. So that's why I tend to go for a potential upgrade every now and then. Julian says, can you open your door now? For the people that don't know, I've had some door issues in my office here. So I'm living in this house where my office is like a separate space. It's attached to the main house, but it's an outside external door into my office. And I may or may not have had an issue where the wind was blowing so hard in the UK that my door just smashed open and 2 of the 3 hinges cracked off. So it's barely holding on one of the hinges. But the first issue was that when those hinges were not broken yet, the issue that popped up was I couldn't open the door anymore properly. I was literally stuck in here. Only from the outside you can open it. But I would say that it's gotten worse. Because now the door is holding on with a single hinge. And every time I open it, there's like a 30% chance that I lose my entire door. So I have to be really careful. And I've been trying to contact people to replace this door or replace the hinges initially. Because I don't feel like spending money on a whole door if I can do it on just hinges. Because the door is fine. It's the hinges to the wall to the door frame that are broken. Every person I contact is like, oh, I gotta get a new door, buddy. What? That makes no sense. The door is fine. I feel like I'm getting scammed by the local door people. Anyway, that's my story. Have you ever used PCM Plus before? I have not. So what I know is that it's a modification that you can open next to PCM, a software that you can run next to Pro Cycling Manager, where you can optimize and add on to your experience of Pro Cycling Manager. Just Google PCM Plus and you'll find it. I have never used it. The reason I've never used it is because if I was just playing Pro Cycling Manager off camera, I would potentially use it, but I'm doing it on video and I find it really difficult if I then start playing Pro Cycling Manager on a YouTube video and then I have to show the second screen as well and then I have to switch between the screens on recording. It wasn't worth the effort. Max Place says, bro, I don't mean to flex, but I have PCM 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and TDF 22, 23, 24, 25. Sorry, buddy. Let me flex. Give me a second. It's time for me to flex, buddy. I'm gonna go to ×1. I'm going to go to full screen here. So this right here, is Cycling Manager 1. This right here is Cycling Manager 2. This right here is Cycling Manager 3. This right here is Cycling Manager 4. This right here is Pro Cycling Manager 2006. This right here is Pro Cycling Manager 2005. 2013, 2012, 2011, 2010, 2010, 2010. For some reason, I've got it 3 times. Nobody knows. 2009, the Danish-Norwegian version, because why not? 2009, the normal version. 2008, 2007, another version of 2006, another version of 2005, and another version of 2005. How about that? Ay. Anyway, I'm gonna try and pop them off screen here. There we go. And let's get back into the race. Now, on a serious note, I spent the last 2 months trying to gather all these PCM games because I want to make some content on older Pro Cycling Manager games in the off season, and I think that would be fun. And I was scared when I bought these games, when I bought Pro Cycling Manager 2005, when I bought Cycling Manager 2 from 2002, that 1, they might not work, or 2, they wouldn't run on Windows, whatever version this is, maybe 11 or something, or 12. Like, but they do, so they work. I've tested Cycling Manager 1. It's literally a 2-dimensional game. It's 2D. It's literally not a 3D game. You can't move your camera like this. It's literally from sideways like this. That's Cycling Manager 1. Anyway, 47 kilometers to go. We've got water. We're all good. Let's do some times 2, times 3ing. Times 3 doesn't exist. Times 4ing. Sophie asks, are you hyped for the World Championships? I would say I'd like to think I am, but I feel like I'm not as hyped as usual years. Like for the time trial, initial ideas, it's Remco Evenepoel, Tadej Pogacar. There's outsiders like Jay Vine that I expect to do really well. Not sure about the time trial for Del Toro. In the road race, I expect him to be better. But the road race I am looking forward to, but I have a family thing in the morning of the road race, so I will only be able to watch the first half of the race with one eye, which is a bit silly. Did I just get attacked? Why is the peloton not pacing? Girich, Okamoto, Oka, and Kamada are ahead. The break has 2 minutes with 30 kilometers to go. I feel like I might as well just use my team to do the pacing here, because no one in the peloton is actually pacing at the moment, and I don't necessarily like that, so I feel like I'll put in some effort here. 85 relay, that's fine. Sugeno can keep protecting me. I'll move up a little bit in the group, though. There we go. Vitor asks, Benji, for you, who wins the World Championships TT? Ooh, we've got an attack here. I'll get back to you. My team is going to take care of that attack, I think. 28 kilometers to go, 1 minute 50. I reckon this break can be under control if I keep this up. I'm not the favorite, so it's kind of surprising that I have to be the one doing this, but it's now a 17-man breakaway, which is quite a large group. What if I try to bridge towards the breakaway? But there's no real attacking point. I feel like these small hills are not necessarily hard enough. I need my team to go all out. 99 chasing, because there's so many corners on this parkour that we're going nowhere with this peloton at the moment. There goes Mario together with Matsuda and Nayans. My team is controlling that very nicely. I'm going to try and move through to the front of the group a little bit here. And we've got 20 kilometers to go. Break is falling apart a little bit. We've got Mochizuki now pacing for Mario. My team's almost done for. I might actually try to bridge to the breakaway. I think there's no harm in doing it. Can I follow the attack of Mario on the right side of the road, and in doing so, the rest of my team can chill? There we go. We're off together with Mario and Matsuda. Can I relay with the man? I can. I think I should attack him on the next hill. Minute 20 to the front of the race, so catching the front of the race won't be as easy as I think it is. Ooh, troublesome. We've got a bit of a gap on the chasers though, so that is nice. But I need to drop Mario on the next hill. That is not right here. A minute 20 is the gap now. We've got 4 riders with us now, but the hill is coming. Right, not here. And there comes another move, I think, by these boys. So let's follow Tvet. 13 kilometers to go. Come on, come on, come on. I gotta be ready, I gotta be ready. Oh, God. There goes Mario, and I'm stuck behind this other guy. There comes my response. going to Mariol's wheel. I'm going to try and go straight past him. There we go. 1 minute to the front of the race. Let's do 85 aerodynamic position. 10k to go. Come on. 1 minute is the gap, but it's 12 riders against 1. I don't think I'll make it. I'll try. Actually, brakes right there. 55 seconds. Come on, Pikachu. I don't think we'll make it. Brake will take it. That's so sad. I wasn't expecting the opposing teams to just give up and let the breakaway win. That's a bit devastating. 40 seconds to the front. 7 kilometers to go. I think it's over, boys. I think it's over. Energy Shell right now. I'm going to keep on going like this. I hope they sit up at some point, but I don't think they will. 4.8 kilometers to go. It's definitely over. We're going to top 10 this race, but what's the value in that? I'm going to try and attack once again on this small hill and get a little bit closer, but it ain't going to be it for the victory, that's for sure. Attack again on this small hill. 2 kilometers to go. I'm almost in the group, but maybe I should have tried to attack 1 lap earlier. Maybe that would have helped, but actually, what? Last kilometer, no! Oh, no! Oh, if I just came 10th without passing them, I would have felt so good, but now I feel terrible. I just lost the sprint in the group, kinda. Oh, Alex Coleman wins. That is disappointing. I had hope. I had a little bit of hope there. That's devastating. Okay, so Benji, for you, who wins the World Championships TT? I've already said it, so it's like Remco versus Pog. Oh, it's really difficult because there are climbs on the parkour, so Pogacar on paper has advantage on the climbs, but it's climbs where it's 4 to 6%. So it is on paper climbs where aerodynamics is more important or very important, which means that being in the TT gear the entire time trial will be very relevant. So add to that on paper, Remco's preparation was more focused on the time trial than Pogacar, even though Pogacar has said that he has focused on the time trial a little bit more than usual. I'm leaning maybe 52-48 to Remco right now on the time trial. But it's really close and it could literally go either way. Next to that, I also want to say, outsiders like Jay Vine, I said it earlier, those kind of riders I expect to do pretty well. Romeo's chances tomorrow, I don't expect Romeo to win the time trial tomorrow or be close to that. Like, Romeo won that U23 World Championships last year, which, that was fantastic. But we're talking about against the big guns here. Like, I love Romeo in Pro Cycling Manager. I know he's doing great things for Sirocco for endurance, but I don't think he's going to be cooking World Tour top-level riders tomorrow like Pogacar and Remco Evenepoel, you know? So chances to win, very low. Anyway, let's take a look not at the podium. So my mistake in this race was that while I was yapping against you guys, while I was talking and flexing my PCM games, Levgonov and Co decided to attack in the peloton and I missed that attack. In doing so, I was stuck behind and the peloton was okay with that breakaway winning then. So I finished on 18 seconds. I could have competed for the victory here in hindsight. That's for sure. Also, I'm on the wrong side of the page on YouTube, so I've switched the camera. Race classification, bad. Ay. 13 XP, not bad. Anyway, our next race is an actual stage race, so let's move towards that. The Tour de Kyushu. Favorite thing on TV you've discovered since living in the UK? Can I be honest? I don't watch TV. I don't even own a TV. Like, I watch all my TV shows on laptop. Like, I have a TV, like the physical thing is what I mean, but there's no TV connection to it or anything. I just use it to broadcast if I've got a TV show. Like, I've been watching Foundation the last couple of months, which is, in my opinion, a really good show on Apple TV. That's what I've been watching a lot and enjoying. But I don't know what other shows I've been watching recently. Anyway, Tour de Kyushu. Starting off with said to be a flat stage, but that's some bullshit. 2.2 kilometers, 5.6% within the last 10 kilometers, so we can try something there. Then we've got a medium mountain race. It says hilly, but I lean towards medium mountain because 3.3 kilometers, 9%. That's GC rider territory, not puncher territory. Anyway, last stage is sprint / versatile sprint, so I don't think I'll win that stage, but we got second in this race last year. We got second behind Nahom Zerai. This year I want to win it because Nahom Zerai is nowhere here, so he's dipped out to another team and he's not in the Japanese circuit anymore. We are favorite? Nope, not for this. Marijn van den... EF is... What? EF Easy Post is here? Took me a second. Oh, God. Van den Berg, Albanese, Simmons, but I think that's Colby Simmons, not Quinn Simmons. So, no need to worry there, but this race suddenly became a lot more different. I was like, Nahom Zerai isn't here. I'm sorry, but EF Education Easy Post is here. Total Energie is here. So, we've got pro teams and World Tour teams present. Anyway, either way, we'll try to beat him. Teddy Pikachu is ready. So, let's deliver, shall we? Zane asks, are you going to upload the La Vuelta tier list as a video rather than a live stream? I don't think I'll have the time to edit it down to a video. Because it's very different to go on a live stream and talk through the tier lists in the way that I did versus doing it in video format to begin with. Because then when I'm just recording a video to my camera, my sentences are shorter, everything I say is more short. If I now have to cut down the live stream in which I say more stuff about why I think certain things, which I think quite a few people also like, that I say more reasoning behind my choices. It feels like the tier list was meant to be on a live stream, actually. The way I feel about it afterwards. But I am considering either getting Joe, who's editing my videos, or finding a specific person to edit down live streams, because I do think there's value in editing this Pro Cyclist down to a couple of videos at some point when we're at the end of this playthrough, you know? For the people that didn't watch the live streams to then watch a rushed version of it. 2-rider breakaway, that's fine, don't care. I'm gonna get Nagashima to protect me. That's good. Okay. Vitor says Del Toro better than Tadej Pogacar for the road race. Ooh. Ooh. It's not that easy to compare it like that. Because you look at Del Toro's schedule and he's winning races left and right, but he's also winning races where, let's be honest about it, the Coppa Agostoni and so forth, those are not World Tour level races like the GP Montreal. I'm not saying that Del Toro couldn't be competitive at the GP Montreal. I think he could have. But you can't look at those races and say, okay, he's going to destroy. You know? So I do expect him to do well at the road race. But to say he's going to be better than Pogacar, I think is a stretch. I expect Tadej Pogacar to win the road race. And we have the fast climb, don't care. Actually, might as well take it. Like, I'm sorry, but there's no one in the breakaway here at the moment. So if I can get 3 KOM points, why not? If I can get through the peloton, actually. Come on, come on. Ooh, there we go. And let's get Nagashima to protect me again. 10 points. We're now leading the climbers classification. Well, to be fair, it's the first climb in this stage race, so it's logical. Yeah, Arne, Del Toro is riding for Mexico. I think Mexico is a weird one. I think the Mexican Federation is banned in cycling. So I think the Mexican team, AR Monix, is funding the Mexican riders being at the World Championships. I could be wrong there if there's any Mexican cycling experts out there to correct me. But the point you were making is his team is not that great. There's a few talented riders in it though. I think Macias is a pretty talented rider in there in the Mexican team. I think he might have podiumed a stage at I don't know if it was Avenir or something. Anyway, let's speed up our process here a little bit. Nathan asks, chances of a Pogacar time trial and road race double. I'd put it 30%. The reason is winning the road race is expected for Tadej Pogacar. Winning the time trial, for me, he's just behind Remco for the time trial for me. But it's like really close to the point that it literally could go either way for me. But there's one thing I do want to say about the road race. A lot of people are talking about, oh, the Rwanda road race, the World Championships road race has 6,000 altitude meters. And because of that, it's for pure climbers. I don't think that's the right way to look at it. The Olympics road race that Greg van Avermaet won, a rider that is definitely not and has never been a pure climber, had 5,000 altitude meters. I think 4,900 or something. So to say that just because a race has that many altitude meters that it's for pure climbers, I think that's not correct. I think the right way to look at it is, if you look at the parcours, there's one big climb, I think 6 kilometers at, or 8 kilometers at 6% in the middle of the race with 100 kilometers to go. The rest of the parcours is laps of 2 climbs. And those 2 climbs are, I think, 1.3 and 2.2 kilometers. I could be slightly off on that. Steep ones, though. So when I look at those climbs, it's like lots of iterations of Oude Quaremont-like climbs, which Tadej Pogacar is really good at. So Pogacar is not the favorite because it's for pure climbers. He's the favorite because it's basically a harder version of the Tour of Flanders. That's how I interpret the parcours, you know? I don't know what your opinion is on the route, by the way. That's my view of it. So, 50 kilometers to go. And I'm going to dip out and get some water just in case with Nagashima. Let's take a look at the gradients of the final climb here. So, we've got some orange and red gradients. I have to attack on the climb. I've got no choice. Like, I don't think there's another way for me to beat the competition. So, I'll do it and we'll see where we finish. Because the climb top said 146. That's 5 kilometers from the finish. Slightly less than 5. Okay, all these guys are sprinting for the intermediate sprint. I don't care. Then again, there's bonus seconds, but I wouldn't have won against the sprinters, so I don't feel too bad about doing it. We've got sprint trains forming, so I probably should form something myself, but Yamamoto is not a bad rider. Sawada shit. All these riders are not that great. Honda can be the fast man. 3-rider train is fine. I'm not planning to make it till the sprint anyway. It's all about attacking for me. But I am a little bit worried that the climb that's coming is so close to the finish that the sprint trains will be flying up that climb and that it will be difficult for me to ride faster than those sprint trains on the climb. That's an assumption I have. So I'm hoping we can keep front position and that I can launch myself away with Pikachu on the climb. That's my hope. Climb is coming up. We've got Someone moving up on the left, the train of... Is it Gonov again? I'm not sure he's here. Yes, he is. He is here. Let's do 90 on Honda, 95. Let's move up. And it's Jalen Yamamoto and Honda. Same with Pikachu, 99 right now. Is that insanity? Tempo in the group is high, very high. Oh. Yamamoto on 99. And we've got the entire train on the left there, but we're now just before the flat segment. I think I should attack on the last steep segment, actually. So I'm going to try and... Now I'm going to go right now into the bottom of the steep section. There comes the attack. Yamamoto out of the way. And there comes the move. We've got Todomi in our wheel. Yes, indeed. So 2 Japanese riders off the front. 3 riders, actually. And I'm going to keep going downhill. I can't do acrobatic descent, but actually I'm getting a gap on the others just in the descent. I'll keep on attacking. 99 all-out attack. We don't have to spend any energy because we're literally in a descent. Come on, Teddy. 13 seconds on the peloton. This is your moment, buddy. This is your moment. Keep on going, last. This is it. This is it. This is it. 10-second advantage last 3 kilometers. Sprinting right now. 11 seconds. 13 seconds. McKellar with the lead out behind us, but we've got full energy with 1.7 kilometers to go. There comes the sprint. Come on, come on, come on. And let's take a look. Are they going to close us down? It's going to be not so close. There we go. Teddy Pikachu wins. He takes a victory. There we go. Stage 1 of the Tour de Kyushu is ours. Whew. What a W. I wasn't sure that was going to work, genuinely. And it's only because the descent, because we managed to gap the others in the descent, that it worked, I think. Okay. So, let's take a look at our man, shall we? Oh la 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 la, look at him, look at him. He's so beautiful up there. Teddy Pikachu taking the victory. And also, the leader's jersey. 4 seconds on Marijn van den Berg, who finished second, and Martin Laas in 3rd place. And it's a yellow jersey. It's a basic Tour de France yellow jersey. Okay. Okay, so stage 1 was a bit of a failure. Well, our last race was a bit of a failure, but this stage was definitely not a failure. EF Education, easy pose, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th. So, ouch. Not so good, EF. Not so good. Nonetheless, I think stage 2 might fit us even more, but it's also, I think, a parkour where, let's take a look at it. Oh, 31 XP. Almost level 13. I'm not complaining. But the next stage is a harder parkour, which means it's going to be more selective. But I think the final climb is further from the finish line. So I'm not completely certain that it will be as easy to win against riders like Vincenzo Albanese. We are still in 94% fitness. Last climb is with about... Well, it's a 110 kilometer stage only. So let's say 8 kilometers from the finish line with downhill to the line. We are the favorite. Jean-Loup Fayol is the 2nd favorite. I've heard of that rider before. I'm pretty sure. Is he on Arkea in real life? I could be wrong. I feel like he might be on Arkea in real life. Can I see that here? Career. Arkea B&B Hotels, their Conti team, their dev team. Hey, my man knows I know my young French boys. That's weird. That's a weird thing to say. Anyway, let's jump into this race, shall we? I agree, Renze. What is EF doing farming in Kyushu? But there is a Japanese connection with EF because why is Yuhi Todome otherwise in the team? And I think Nippo might or might not have been or still is sponsor of their dev team. I could be wrong there. Objective, win the stage. Ooh, that is some pressure on me. Let me try and get my boys to the front. And get ourselves on 85. Pikachu with a +1 on the day. So 79 medium mountain, 72 hill stat. These climbs are hard, by the way. Ooh, I can work with that. Let's get ourselves protected. And I feel like I'm a bit too much towards the front here, so let's put myself a bit further in the peloton, but apparently that's not possible because no one wants to go in the breakaway yet. I think they're waiting for the flat. Yes, indeed. 3, 4 riders. I'm okay with a 6 riders, 7 riders. 8, 9. Oh. I'm not okay with a breakaway that big, so Nagashima can do some pacing on 85 to try and control breakaway formation. If we can remotely achieve that. More riders trying to attack on the right side. Watanabe, Tani, and so forth. Shitmeister says, Nipo is Wanty-Intermarché. I swear there was a... Let me look it up. EF Nipo. There we go. EF Nipo Dev Team. EF Education Nipo Development Team was a UCI Continental team registered in the United States, so it apparently died. It was founded in 2020 and it was killed in 2023. You're right that Nipo is now with Wanty-Intermarché, so I assume that Nipo left that dev team and then dipped out to Intermarché. And I think that's also why the Intermarché dev team now has a Japanese rider in it. I think. Don't quote me on that. There's quite a few riders in the breakaway, and the breakaway is actually being formed. So Nagashima needs to ride 90 if I want to do something about this breakaway forming. Looks like we might catch that 2-rider chasing group there. I don't think I will. Not at this tempo. Come on, Nagashima. Honda's dropped. Why is Honda on 4? Did I just do that? Did I just accidentally put Honda on 4 effort? That is sad. Let's hope he finds his way back. Anyway, intermediate sprint upcoming. It's quite a large breakaway group. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I should just 13, 15. So 15 riders up the road. That's too much. I want to get all the rest of my boys to the front as well on 85 and try and help reel in the breakaway. I'm not trying to reel in the entire breakaway, but ideally I can reel in these 2 groups here because otherwise we ain't gonna be able to control the breakaway too much in this race. Then again, just controlling until the climb start is fine. So as long as my team can control the first 50 kilometers of the stage, Pikachu can take care of it on the climbs, you know? But I'm riding on 85 for now with my squad. So hopefully I can catch Miyagawa and Baba. Okay. 82 kilometers to go. By the way, if you have any questions for me, I'll happily fill in the blanks of this live stream with some Q&As. There we go. Perfect. Miyagawa and Baba have been caught. There's now 13 riders ahead, but Okamoto and Kamimura have seemingly been dropped by the front race. So if we can just make it an 11-man breakaway, that's already better than 13. Arne asks, why is the World Championships always a hilly parkour? And because of that, the favorites are always the same. Thing is, it hasn't always been just a hilly parkour. I feel like it changed around the 2019-2020 era where Leuven World Championship, stuff like that. And I think the reason is that the most famous, the most well-known, the most supported riders, the star riders of our sport, are riders that are all-round enough to be able to compete on a hilly parkour. A parkour where Mathieu van der Poel, Wout van Aert in 2022, Pogacar, Alaphilippe back in the day. Those were the most popular riders in our sport and still are some of them. And because of that, the UCI wants the star riders to compete for the World Championships and ride in the rainbow jersey. And that's why they try to make parkours that fit those riders. But I do agree that it's come to the point where I would be okay with a different parkour every now and then. Imagine a World Championships with like the Tourmalet in it or something. Then Jonas Vingegaard will show up, that's for sure. Pogacar would still be the favorite though. But the difference between a parkour with a mountain like the Tourmalet and the likes of a hilly parkour is that on a hilly parkour there's a lot more strategic. On a massive climb, you've got the reality that watt per kilo is important. That the power you can put out relative to your body weight is very important to decide how fast you go uphill. And that's also important on an uphill climb of 1-2 kilometers. But if you've got laps of 20 kilometers with 2 1-kilometer climbs in it, then there's 18 kilometers of flat between where group dynamics play, where tactics and stuff happens. The tester of something asked, did you know you're in the game as Stav? Yes, indeed. I found it out on our career mode, I think a few episodes ago. My team is pushing quite well. I'm going to try and move up a little bit in the group. And I'm curious what will happen now, because right now the breakaway is 9 riders with another few riders dropped. So we've done some great controlling in this peloton, I would say. But it's now come down to Pikachu and Yamamoto. And I don't feel like I'm ready to crawl back the breakaway at this point. But it looks like Rangel is pacing. Colombian rider on EF. So that's great. We don't have to do the controlling yet. With Pikachu himself, we've got 4 climbs to come. From this point onwards, we have to be careful. Because the more energy I spend trying to win this race from early or trying to attack with 4 climbs to go, the more likely it will go bad for me. But the gap to the break is now 5 minutes since my riders are gone. So Yamamoto can go to the front and start pacing. Because I think that's the only way we can keep this breakaway under control and not have a breakaway win this race at the end of the day. Okay. Mars, thoughts on Velo Victory is being asked. If you didn't know, there's a new game announced, a new Cycling Manager game announced, Velo Victory. They've got a YouTube channel, Twitter page, and Instagram page. They're made by the WorldDB, who make databases for Pro Cycling Manager. And also mainly the developer is Davy de Peut, who made the PCM Plus mod for Pro Cycling Manager. I'll make a video on it next week. So there's no point in me hashing through it right now, but I'll make an in-depth video on it next week, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, it's not a game that releases anytime soon, so it's not that urgent, the video, but I do want to release it next week. 4th last climb. Let's do some more pacing. Gap is down to 4 minutes, so Yamamoto is doing a fantastic job for the team. And he's got energy to get over this climb and maybe still pace the next climb, so that is perfection. Gap down to 3 minutes 40. My boy's cooking. My boy's cooking. 3 minutes 20. And over the top. Peloton is still 99 riders, but that is fine. I don't care too much. I want to stop pacing a little bit in descent because I think the race is under control for now. Try and get some water. The gap towards the break will expand to maybe 4 minutes again. But they've already shown the breakaway that they should be beaten by the end of the race at this point. But the other teams are really playing it nicely because they're putting all the pressure to hunt down the breakaway on this tiny team called Kina and Japan Airlines, which has the favorite, which is me. But yeah, it is a tactical situation that I have to play really careful with. Because if I start spending too much energy too early with Pikachu, I'm not going to win it. But if I wait too long to attack, I won't win it either. So I'm considering starting to pace on this climb. I will. Pikachu goes to the front. Looks like the team of Total Energy is doing so with Fayol, their favorite. That is odd. I'm coming to the front now. Yamamoto is helping me out. Should I make a move here? Should I try to bridge to the breakaway? This is so risky, but why not? There we go. Can I have some companions, please? Anyone? Fayol is following. We've got lots of people trying to follow, but I'll try to go 99 and make the gap. There we go. Relay on 85. 20 seconds is the gap. Let's keep pushing. Over the top into aero position. Perfection. 1 minute behind the breakaway. The group behind us is shattering into groups, into smaller groups, so that's good. If they catch up, it's less competition. But we are spending quite a bit of energy doing this right now, so this is dangerous. Very dangerous. Yamamoto can go on automatic in that A3 group. We're closing in towards the breakaway. It's 50 seconds, but the group behind us is 30 seconds behind now. I'm really replenishing my yellow completely in this ascent. Yeah, Mars, I could be doing acrobatic descent here, but I'm actually more focusing on making sure I get all my yellow back and using my aero position in this flat. Because I think if I would have used acrobatic descent, then it would have cancelled out my aerodynamic for the flat section after the descent. Gradually crawling towards the breakaway. There we go. 40 seconds on the group behind. I don't need to rush it here. For now, we've got it under control, but the peloton is coming. They're coming very quickly, actually. Let's do 88. I want to keep them behind. McKellar is now pacing for Albanese. 40 seconds to the front of the race. Almost at the top of the climb. Let's try to attack again towards this breakaway and pace past them quickly. Break is going to be caught here. I'm going to try and attack past them. There we go. And we're off again. Going on 88. We can't see anything. There we go. Making the final gap towards the brake riders. They've been caught by the peloton, but I've got a gap of 15 seconds again. Let's go back down to 85. 20-second gap only. I'm not too comfortable with my race situation. I'm not sure this was a good idea going solo this early. I'm going to drink for a second. Let's try and replenish my yellow. And now acrobatic descent. There we go. On the steep section. I'm replenishing less yellow because of that. So my assessment on the previous descent was pretty on point. Climb's going to start soon. And flat section right here. 33 seconds on the group behind. What do you think, Chad? Am I making this? I think I will. 24 seconds. Let's go up to 88 on the climb again. There comes the pacing by McKellar once again, but on paper I should be able to keep him behind us. 89. Keep on pacing, keep on pacing. Mario goes. He's going to make it to our wheel. Is he going to attack past us? He's with us now. Almost on the steepest section. Going to try and attack away again. Right now. And dropping them again. 8 kilometers to the finish. Gap of 20 seconds. Over the top. And I think we've got this. 7.5 kilometers to go, 99 downhill. Acrobatic descent incoming. 22 seconds is the gap. We've got enough yellow bars, so that's good. Some red bar replenishing in these corners, but I want to get to acrobatic descent as fast as possible. Give me the steepest downhill section right here behind this corner, I think. Nope. 20 seconds right now. There we go. Acrobatic descent. And we are flying again. Stay on the bike, buddy. Stay on the bike. Come on, buddy. 28 seconds. We've got this. It's 2.5 kilometers to go. We've got this. It's over. It's not even going to be close. Perfection. Teddy Pikachu, 2 in a row. Dominating the Tour de Kyushu. And there he comes to the finish line. Celebrating already. Teddy Pikachu takes it once again. Woo! Mario comes in second. Donze in third. Albanese with a EF education first. Losers. So we are bringing GC home. That's good. It's very good. Excellent, I would say. When did I got a question for you, chatters. When did you start watching or playing Pro Cycling Manager? Because I know that some of you don't actually play the game and just watch me play it, which, hey, if you like it, why not? There's our man on the podium once again. 34 seconds added to our GC expanded gap. 44 seconds is the gap now. I've got GC in the pocket. There's no way I'm losing this. When it comes to the points classification, we are obviously leading as well because we won both stages. KOM as well. Youth we are leading. And team classification we are last. That says a lot. Let's take a look where my team finished. So Sawada's gone. Completely out of the race. Nagashima, Kawano, Sugeno, and Honda. Those boys are yapping in the last 5 positions of the race. That's crazy. But plus 20 XP, so almost level 13. On the brink of greatness. There we go. Next up is sprint stage, I think. Okay, let's take a look at chat. 2015, 2017. 1 year ago because of LRCP RU. So you started playing because of the videos. Nice. 2021, 2023. The cycling manager with Rabobank on top. Well, the thing is, the cover of the game is different depending on the region where you bought it. I showed it earlier, but for example, I've got 2 editions of 2009. This was the normal version. This is the Norwegian-Danish version with CSC, Saxo Bank, whatever they were called that year, Saxo Bank on the cover. So I assume it's somewhere between 2005 and 2009 that you played it. Anyway, we are nowhere near the favorite here, but I don't care too much. It's all about securing that GC on this one. So let's jump in and bring that home. Muchul asks, hey Benji, do you happen to know why a rider randomly gets dropped from the peloton? New to the game, might be a stupid question. It's actually not a stupid question. I'll try to show you in this race. So leader of the GC, fine. So let's say I've got my team here. Normally when I start a race, I select all of them by clicking the 0 button on my keyboards. Oh, what the hell just happened in the race? Riders just went backwards and forwards. Nonetheless, if you don't have a numpad, if you don't have a 0 button on your keyboard, you can also select all your riders by having your mouse go to the left of the screen next to the riders. This gray bar, if you click there, it selects all your riders. That's a trick that a lot of people don't know actually. But then the important step is, I right-click at the front of the peloton, and I tend to put them on 85. Now, 85, maintain position. This icon right here means that you're on the maintain position action. Means that they're going to try and stay there, and they're going to do an effort up to 85 to stay there. If you're on 70, let's say we're now on... Let's say we go on 70, which is what your rider started at the start of the game. If the peloton starts speeding up to the point that the peloton is riding on 75-80 effort and your rider is stuck on maintain position 70, then he will drop off the back because he can't go above 70 to maintain his position. That is the reasoning behind it. I hope that's remotely understandable. The one thing I will add is that putting all your riders on maintain position 85 is good as a beginner and is an okay strategy. But if you want to play the game perfectly, you should manually micromanage the effort. So on a climb, where it's not necessary to be on maintain positions 85, put it on 75. And some of you might be thinking, but Benji, if it's on maintain position, they're not actually riding 85 all the time. Why do you have to micromanage it down to 75 on climbs? It's because the game controls riders in a not so efficient way. So it makes your riders ride faster than they sometimes need to. And that's why I prefer to set the limits myself by dropping it every now and then. Because you'll notice if you start doing that, if you ride on 75 and only up it when necessary, that you'll have more yellow bar at the end of the race for the final climb. Was that explanation remotely understandable, chat? Because I'm not sure that came across very well. No worries, Macho. There's no dumb questions. Well, there are dumb questions, but that was not one of them. Ooh, my goodness. We've got 2k WEM points, of which they're both 10 points. That's a bit silly. But the riders in the breakaway don't have KOM points, so they can't meet me, so that's fine. SGM in the chat says, I also think the position in the peloton matters. Having them up front burns energy more, even on maintained position. That is correct. If, for example, I put them here with Kian Samat in the first 10 riders, then they're having less draft from riders in front of them. By being in the middle of the peloton, like here, they're more in the wheel of riders. So I always try to put them on this spot right here. Now, when the final climb is approaching, I try to move my riders up a little bit more than right now towards the position of Todome and such, and Albanese. Because then they might be spending a little bit more energy, but they need that position for the climb. So that's how I tend to try to play. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Chartok says, last year, starting with your Rembe team, not playing, but watch Let's Plays because of the person playing it. Oh, thank you very much. You've also watched the FIFA playthrough and you don't even like football. I get that. I'm the kind of person that was like, I grew up watching YouTube. When I was a kid, when I was 13, 14, I started watching YouTube videos about my favorite video games, whether it was Pro Cycling Manager, Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth, or even Minecraft back in the day. And it's because of watching those other people that I was like, okay, maybe I should try and make my videos myself. I started making YouTube videos in I would say 13. The first were shit. That channel was destroyed by YouTube. And then in 2015, I made this YouTube channel, so it's already been 10 years, but it's not officially 10 years. I think the first video I uploaded on this channel was on April 2016. So next year in April is our proper anniversary with this channel. So I'll try to do something special. If you have any ideas, tell me. But I think it would be nice to do like something that is not just one aspect of my channel, because let's be honest about it, this channel is not just Pro Cycling Manager, it's not just Zwift, it's not just talking about cycling, it's a combination of everything. So if I could do something cool that combines all those aspects, that would be nice. Or some big thing that I can do in a video that I really invest time and money into, that's kind of what I'm aiming for April next year. Mars wants a Minecraft video. And ironically, I'd love to live stream Minecraft at the moment. But I don't think it would be good for my channel and the YouTube algorithm to start doing that. Because the last time I uploaded Minecraft on this channel was a one-off, just as like a short series 3 years ago to get back into the game. And the reality is that there were like 100 views per episode. While my PCM videos were doing like 3 to 4K views, which it doesn't feel very motivating to make videos when I've got like 3% of the viewership on those. Julian Pegoraro says you could ride the Strade Bianche for the 10 years. I could, but I think I'm going to ride the Paris-Roubaix Sportive again next year. Maybe the middle version. The one that includes the Truid Arenberg. I think it does. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I obviously did the shorter version the other year. But now that the Paris-Roubaix women's race is being moved to the Sunday, so the women's race and men's race will be on the same day next year, which for the women's race, that's not good. Less attention towards that race, and the riders have to get up at an ungodly hour in the morning to get breakfast, etc. Because they will ride in the morning. It's not good for the women. But selfishly, for me, it's fantastic. Because the reason I could only do the short version of the Sportive is because partially I wasn't good enough to do the long one. Oh, I've been gapped. It's going to be closed, I think, that gap. Yes, indeed. The reason I could only do the short version was because I had to get back for the women's race in time. So now I can do the middle version, which I'd love to do again. I really enjoyed doing that Sportive. I don't think I ever want to do the Tour of Flanders one. I'm just not built for the steep climbs, and oh, someone was on the floor there, Colby Simmons. Everybody's riding over his corpse. That's pretty sad. I'm just not that invested in doing the Tour of Flanders one, because every time I see videos of it, it's like 100 people standing still waiting for traffic of cyclists walking up the Paterberg and such. Firstly, I wouldn't be able to climb it on the bike because it's too steep for me. And secondly, I don't really want to walk up a climb like that either, so... I do think I want to do more crazy stuff, like maybe climbing the highest climb in, I don't know, a country like Slovenia or something. Just thinking out loud, you know? Stuff like that. That's what comes to mind when I think about what cool videos I could make on the bike. Okay. 60 kilometers to go. Renzi and Mars in the chat, highest climb in Denmark. What do you mean highest climb in Denmark? 5 meters. I shouldn't be shitting on Denmark. Belgium's the same. Hey, I have climbed up to the highest point in Belgium in my Netflix video. I should probably be doing ×4, by the way. I'm yapping too much. Kawano on fetch water bottle duty. Break is 3 riders, 2-minute gap, so we're good. Renzi says 170 meters. Come on. Come on. That's no challenge. Is the Paterberg that steep? Asks the chat. Yes, it is. Even driving up it with a car, my car sounded like it wanted to explode. Thanks, Mars. I really appreciate that. I really enjoyed making that Mon Netflix video. But I don't know. I did feel a little out of place because basically, for the people that haven't seen the video, it's a video on my channel where Netflix, to promote the Tour de France Unchained series, invited a bunch of influencers and such to climb to the highest point of Belgium. Plus, they added a physical thing on top so we could climb higher than the actual highest point in Belgium, so that no one could beat our highest point. That's the vibe, the idea of it. Cool idea. Was fun to do. But I'm there with lots of like, everybody's there is like in fantastic form fitness-wise. I was obviously the worst rider there, which I prefer riding by myself at that point. Because like, it felt pretty meh. I'll be honest about that. But I did enjoy the experience, that's for sure. And it was fun meeting a lot of people in the industry that are also cycling influencers and so forth. I will say there's one influencer that I definitely don't like after that experience. I won't name names, but he was not very nice to me. And I will remember that. What is your favorite moment apart from Roubaix? What do you mean apart from riding Roubaix myself? Or do you mean like the race as a whole? Because Paris-Roubaix 2016 was pretty good. Peter asks, ever tried climbing the... Oh, what is my boy doing? Get to the front. Peter asks, ever tried climbing the Muur van Gerardsbergen? I've tried. The last portion I had to walk up it. But I did enjoy doing it. I'm getting gapped. I need to be in a better position here. Why does my train look like this? Did I do this unconsciously? I might have. Yamamoto has 72 sprint on the day? Bro, I should be riding for him. Yamamoto can compete here. I'll do that. I'll try to lead him out. Why not? Where on the season are you? Might you get to Europe this stream? I think I will get to Europe this stream. We are at the end of the season. We've got one race day left after this. There's going to be gaps in this peloton like this. I need to move up. Come on, Honda. Move your ass to the front. On 90 is fine. Just to move up. $12 kilometers to go. EF is shredding it at the front, and I'm having a hard time moving up. I'll be honest. Come on, boys. 91, Honda, 91. 95. On the hill, let's move up. I'm going to try and move up as much as possible. I have a hard time getting to the wheel of the EF train at the front. They're cooking. I'm having to do it myself now. On 88. I could get into... I'll try to get to the wheel of Marijn van den Berg here. 7 kilometers to go. Energy gel. Oh, there's lots of riders in the wheel of Van den Berg though, so... And the EF train is riding away from him. That is odd. Can I please get past here? I'm trying to lead out my friend, Yamamoto. Can I move up to 91, 92, 93? Something like that? Oh, I'm losing so many positions. 95, moving up, moving up, moving up. We're going to lose time like this. Bro, I'm getting dropped doing a lead out. That was ridiculous, that final. How is that possible? The winner is going to be Van den Berg, but we got destroyed in the final 10 kilometers. I tried moving to the front so much. Oi, oi, oi. Painful. Julian says, in October I will do Zwift again. Are you planning to do some events? I will definitely do stuff on Zwift. Events, I have not planned them out yet. But I'm definitely doing them. I will most likely ride the Virtu Slow for Endurance Zwift racing events again. If they happen. Haven't had confirmation yet. But I'm actually supposed to do a test on Zwift today, so terrifying. We should be fine when it comes to GC though. I expect the gap in the peloton. Actually, no. 44 seconds is the gap, so Teddy Pikachu wins GC. Despite a bit of a disastrous last stage, we take it home. We also take home KOM and the points classification and the youth classification. So 4 jerseys and 2 stage wins. That's one way to take this race home. Perfection. There we go. 66 XP. We're now level 13 and we're 58 points into it as well. Which means we get a level up. No upgrade when it comes to our stats, but we get a skill point and access to races in category Tour de France. We can ride the Tour de France now, but I'm sorry, but our team isn't going to do that. Unibet Titema Rockets next year, maybe if we can get a wild card, but I'm not certain about that. Anyway, so far we've done top 10 at the Oita Urban Classic Road Race, 1-2 stage and 4 distinctive jerseys at the Tour de Kyushu. Pretty good run so far, but I feel like our next race will be the hardest. Because the next race is a race where World Tour teams are also present. How do I think Sexas is going to do in the World Championships? I assume he's riding the U23 one, right? Am I drunk? Let me check. No, he's not. He's riding the elite one. I'm not sure that's gonna happen in terms of like. I'm not sure that's gonna happen in terms of getting a result. Arna confirms what I also know is true. Pikachu is getting overtrained. That is true. He's got 54% tiredness. We can see it on left bottom. But it doesn't matter because he's got one race left. So, irrelevant. Here's our final race. 92% fitness, so it's dropping down a little bit because of the tiredness. And because the weather is 17 degrees sun. I'm sorry, but what? 17 degrees sun is about the most neutral weather you can get in your entire life. Why is he sad about that? I'd love 17 degrees sun every day of my life. Literally every day. Ilan van Wilder, Derek G, Andrea Bajoli, Tejada, Higita, Gegenhardt, Dunbar. Oh no, 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 no. That is some competition. And we've got Teddy Pikachu and his 5 merry men. So, it's going to be a difficult race, that's for sure. But we certainly have competition. Moose in chat says, Walter Riders can't ride U23 or U19. That's a new rule, right? Because I swear Yevgeny Fedorov became world champion U23 after riding for Astana and winning the U23 ITT or something. Am I inventing that? I don't know. Or winning the world or riding the world champs ITT for elite. I think the UCI changed it after Fedorov did that. Is what I vaguely remember. Roglic in chat says, did you use a skill point? I did not, so thank you for reminding me. We should definitely still do that. Today's race is all about, well, trying to do our best, I guess. Kawano can protect Pikachu and Sugeno can protect Yamamoto. The other 2 riders can be on automatic for the rest of the race to get water bottles for us. Can I get myself to the front? I'm already at the front, so that's nice. Julian in chat says he should only be bad in rainy conditions, not sunny ones. We all know that electricity Pokemon's weakness is water. Facts. Spitting straight facts. Anyway, break is 8 riders. Should I have been in the breakaway? I think I'm too good to be in the breakaway. Who's in the breakaway? Okay, I'm too good to be in the breakaway. Looking at the breakaway. Actually, I think I want to be in the breakaway. I'll try to be in the breakaway. I'll attack right here. I'll try and get a teammate with me. Actually, that teammate is never going to be able to follow. There we go. Got a rider with us. Gonna try and make it to the breakaway on this climb. Let's do solo then. 1 minute to the front. 20 seconds on the peloton where we've got no real pacing, no hardcore chasing, so I think we might be good. I'll put the rest of our riders in the peloton on automatic. It's a solo day in the breakaway. Matthew in chat says, hey Benji, you could create a rider with the lowest stat on everything in PCM and then do a climb and then go to the climb in real life and try to beat the time. I think it's a fun idea, but I don't think there's an accurate way to calculate the time in Pro Cycling Manager. That's one thing. But I do think it's a great idea. There we go. In the breakaway, 1 minute 46 on the peloton, so this will be the breakaway of the day. I'll sit up for now because I don't really want to relay with these guys yet. I'll do so once they start complaining about me not relaying. Peter in the chat says, no, he's not spitting facts. Water Pokemon are weak to electricity Pokemon. Ooh, we've got We've got Pokemon beef in the chat is what you're saying. Ouch. 2 minutes on the peloton. I'm going to start relaying with the group now on, let's say, 67. Don't want to do too much work here either. In an ideal world, I had a teammate up here, you know, so that he can do the work instead of me. 2 minutes 20 on the peloton. Let's pace 64 for now. Okay, 100 kilometers to go. It's uphill, downhill the entire race here. 2 minutes 20 on the peloton. It's not much to add here. Let's take a look at chat in the meanwhile. The range should be afraid of Teddy. True. You can do a custom-made stage on PCM with the same data as a climb on Zwift. Then you can try and beat the time of the PCM rider. Yeah. Let me get some water. Gap is down to 2 minutes. Peloton is shredding down. Actually, we had a breakaway objective, so going in the break was a good idea. We had to finish in the top 20, and we need to get 50 kilometers in the breakaway as exposure, so we're doing fantastic for that goal. I didn't even realize we had that goal. It's good that I noticed. We're losing riders in the breakaway, down to 8 riders, but I don't mind too much. I'm still mostly full energy. But the peloton is coming closer now. 50 seconds is the gap. So this breakaway is not exactly having a massive gap. I feel like we might get caught before the race even opens up in the peloton. Actually, I'm saying that, and I see that the peloton keeps splitting in half every time on the climb. So maybe on the next climb, we might see the first attacks in the peloton. "40 seconds on the peloton. Next climb is coming. 30 seconds. Gonna try and go on 70. Ishibashi is the one pacing like crazy now. And we're getting called by Bouchard, not Geoffrey Bouchard, by a Canadian Bouchard. Let's sit up on 85. And we've been called by the peloton, which, that's fine. Yamamoto is still here. I did not expect that, I'll be honest about that. So now I'm going to try and micromanage my effort to 75. I don't expect attacks to happen on this climb. And I'm okay with dropping through the group a little bit on the climb to then make sure I don't spend as much yellow bar as the other riders. Now let's drop it down to 30 in the descent to try and recover all my yellow bar. And on the flat, I'll up it back to 80 right now. There we go. Okay, so peloton is 56 riders. We've made it at least halfway into the race. We need 20 kilometers more in a breakaway, so we got to try and find a way to follow any attacks and be with those attacking riders for 20 kilometers. My teammates are on the brink of perishing, so I don't think they'll survive the next climb. I'll go on ×2 towards the next climb. And I do feel like we might see attacks on that climb. And I kind of want to follow those attacks, you know? But we got to make sure that whatever we do to get that breakaway objective, we still got to finish top 20 in this race. Also for another objective. So if we attack and don't succeed in our breakaway objective, and then we end up not succeeding in our top 20 objective either, that's the worst case scenario. Last 50 kilometers. IPT is spacing. Over the top of this climb, we've got to move by Albanese. Ideally, I was with him, but it looks like that attack was just too late because there's no real gaps in the peloton. Actually, there is a gap in the peloton now. 20 rider group off the front. Yamamoto is still here for me, so fantastic ride by the man. Albanese has a tiny gap, but Soudal Quickstep is pacing for Van Wilder. I don't want to put too much effort in at the moment. I want to make sure I survive as long as possible. Last 46 riders in the race, so we're doing pretty good. What do you think, Chad? What will our result be in this race? Because I think we might actually be able to get a solid result here. Okay. Roglic in chat asked, why are World Tour teams here? They must have heard Teddy was here, so they came to scare him away from the sport. Factual. But this is actually a pretty big race, the Japan Cup. It's like I'd argue the biggest race in Japan. One-day race at the end of the season, and I think Little Trek always rides it. Especially World Tour teams with Japanese side sponsors do it. But it's actually one of the races I'd love to visit at some point in my life. Partially because Mount Fuji is on my list of climbs I want to do in my life. 40 kilometers to go, climb incoming. So let's be ready here because I feel like there might be activities coming. Albanese now has a minute 30, which that's insanity. Paul Double is now pacing. Maintain position 85. We've got, is that Mario attacking? Yes, it is. I should probably follow those kind of moves. Should I? I am doing it. No, never mind. Terrible time to attack. Just at the top of the climb. Horrible. I'm not doing very well when it comes to my breakaway objective. But I'm doing very well when it comes to my top 20 objective. So, yeah. Oh. Puncture by some dude. Don't think that was actually in the peloton, though. Albanese is 2 minutes ahead with 30 kilometers to go. There's nothing I can do about that. It's on the World Tour teams to fix that. I am going to try and attack on the next... No, I should be following it. I'm not the favorite here. I shouldn't be acting like the favorite then either. The way I win this is by following the riders like Van Wilder and beating them in the final sprint somehow. Paul Double with a move on the left side or trying to pace, I don't know. Second last climb incoming. Gap is down to 154. 140, so the gap is really coming down now. Gotta make sure I can follow here. I'm getting blocked by Voldager. On to the next climb. Come on, Pikachu. Attacks will follow here. But I'm not in a great position, so I'll quick step is hard pacing. There comes the move by Van Wilder. Gonna try and follow here on 99 right now. I need to. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Can I find my way to the front of the race? I think I am. That's good. I'm still in the group. Can I make it to the wheel of Van Wilder and so forth? No, because they've got a gap. A tiny gap, but it exists. Jaco needs to close this. I don't. I've got plenty of energy here, though, but... Nalan's now pacing. I'm trying to force the other teams to do the work, you know? 26 people in the group and everybody's been caught. Okay. Now I need to get ready because the next climb is where it needs to happen. But I'm physically not as good as my competition here. So on the climb, I struggle. My energy is not looking good. I should be getting water right now, but I'm scared to do so. I'll do it. Oh, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. Get some water, buddy. Get some water. Perfect. Slowly make your way back to the front without spending too much energy. There we go. That's good. That's good. That's good. Our yellow bar is not looking good with 13 kilometers to go. We're going to have to be really careful in this final. 28 people. So top 20 is likely to happen. I'll put my teammates that are dropped on automatic. Climb is about to start, so let's try moving up in position for the next climb. And just as I say that, I lose positions. 85. 87. Trying to move up as much as possible. Here's the climb. 86. 87. There comes the move on the right side of the road. Should I follow this? I think I should. There we go. We're following the attack of Van Wilder, but my rider's not good enough. My rider is not good enough. I'm getting dropped. Ah, come on. They're off. They're off without me. I'm not good enough. 8 kilometers to go, and my boy is getting cooked. In the descent, I need to put myself on 35 to replenish some energy. And 6 kilometers to go. I don't have the energy to keep this going. I don't have the energy to keep this going, so I should wait on the group behind me. I will do that. And I'll try to replenish some yellow and red bar and try and sprint to a top 10 position. I need to be careful here. Maybe they get caught. I hope they get caught up there, but my energy's not looking good. To the wheel of Voldager. My yellow bar is really bad. To Dolme spacing. We're definitely top 20, so that's nice. But I'm running out of energy. 2 kilometers to go. Oh, I followed the wrong wheel. I followed the wrong wheel. I can try sprint, but it's not meaningful. I think I might finish 10th here. Which, that's fine. The winner is going to be Bajoli. Van Wilder takes it. And we're going to finish 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Yeah. So a top 10 for Teddy Pikachu. I think that's a good result, to be honest. We have no team in this race. We spent half the race trying to be in the breakaway. We tried survival mode to get over every single climb. And it's a big race. It's the biggest Japanese race, so against these World Tour riders, I'm not sure I should be expecting much more, you know? Maybe I'm coping. That's also possible. But it's time. The end of the season is here, boys. So we'll try to fly through the rest of the season and see what our team looks like at Universiteit Rockets for next season. And take a look at the calendar and so forth. Which I'm actually looking forward to do. Gamer Irelandia puts W in the chat. I'm not sure getting 10th deserves a W. Like, it's a good result, but let's keep the W's for the actual victories. Come on, race. Last rider is still on the road. There he is. From VC Fukuoka. Okay. I don't care about the podium. So, we've got ourselves in 10th place, which I'm okay with that against this competition. I'll take it. I'll take that any day of the week. We get 31 XP. We don't get our breakaway bonus, but at least we got average evaluation on that, so that's better than nothing. I do want to take a look at our skill point here, because last time I think we selected level 3 in training. We selected fitness peak level 1. I think willpower is something I'm interested in. What do you think, chat? Because when I have a bad day in my next season, I want to be able to overturn that bad day into a good day. And that's what this button does. I reckon that's my selection. Because I could go for observation, passion, and information, which observation I should probably use a little bit more in the game. But maybe that's something I should work on from next year onwards, because I think willpower will be more valuable. Chat confirms willpower, so there we go. That's done. Now, 19th of October. Season is about to end. Gonna go 5 days further. We've got some national championships on the 19th of October. Kenya and Vietnam. It's crazy. And I want to stop the simulation soon. There we go, right now. So, this is the end of the season. And We already spoke about this last time, I think, on the live stream. Joao Almeida winning the Giro, getting third at the Tour de France behind Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard. Matthias Schielmo's winning La Vuelta, which is still crazy, ahead of Johannesson and Daniel Felipe Martinez. So what a weird podium. But outside of that, lots of Portuguese success with Morgado winning Tour Down Under. Pogacar winning both the World Champs Road Race and Time Trial. Maybe that's a sign for real life. And Steven Kruijswijk wins the Dutch NCs. That's crazy. But when it comes to transfers, I'm curious what happened there. Let's take a look here. Ooh. Our team is signing a Australian rider. I guess we won't know because we're never riding for this team. But I want to see what our team for next year is doing, but also World Tour. Alpecin, not exactly big moves. Arkea neither. Bahrain, not really. Jai Hindley is coming to EF Education first. So that's something, Chad. Together with Samuel Watson. Ben Healy's leaving, though, to UAE Team Emirates. Together with Baudin. Oof. Sivakov rejoins Ineos after leaving UAE. And Carapaz, who is part of Ineos in this game, is going to Intermarché Wanty. What a change. IPT's got Madis Mikkels coming in, Pascal Ackermann leaving. Narvaez is coming to Little Trek together with Ackermann. How is Ackermann still a thing in this game? I'm sorry. Bro's washed. Polit as well joining Little Trek, so they're going for the old Germans. Bajoli is departing, and Tim Thornton Teutenberg, who, if I was them, I'd keep over Ackermann. He's leaving to Total Energie. Kra Andersen to Lotto. Crazy transfers. Max Kronen is joining Movistar. Don't know his stats. Michael Storer goes to Q36.5. Mauro Schmidt to Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. What else is happening here? Okay, so Svestad Bartsing, pretty solid signing for Visma Leasebike, together with Gunfit. Van Barle and Kruijswijk leaving. Relatively realistic. And here we go. What the fuck? Primoz Roglic is joining UAE Team Emirates to ride with Tadej Pogacar in 2027. That's crazy. What is Primoz Roglic like at the end of 2026? 74 mountain stat. Oh my god. Primoz Roglic is more washed than my average clothing after coming out of the washing machine. 80 medium mountain, 77 hill stats, so still pretty good on that terrain. Sprint down to 65. At the age of 36. And he's got a contract. Well, I can't see when his contract is going to end at UAE, but I assume it's a one-year contract. That's a mad transfer. I like that a lot. I like seeing that on PCM. That's a typical PCM transfer. Ben Healy, together with Alex Baudin, Rick Plymers and Ewan Kostu, and Prise Peitersen. Narvaez, Polidarieta, Sivakov, all dipping out. What an odd transfer season, but it's certainly a pretty good team, that's for sure. And actually, Ewan Kostu is not a bad rider in this game. I can't see his stats, but bro's better than Healy and Kristen and so forth. He must be pretty great. That's mad. What else is happening? Okay, so pro teams. No major changes. Arieta going to Ken Pharma again. Carapaz coming to Intermarché together with Higita. All transfers. Then, I assume this team is going back to Conti. Yes, indeed. Linning Star is going back to Conti next season. Lotto is becoming a World Tour team again. Mabe, which I think is the Petro-like team. Am I correct? The Mexican team. This is the talented rider that I spoke about earlier, by the way. Cesar Macias. I think he podiumed the Avenir sprint stage, maybe. So, Del Toro is not the only talent in Mexico. Enrique Bravo is also a pretty talented rider. I think it's a mountain biker from Brazil. He's joining this team from Sudal Quickstep Dev Team. You're probably going to hear quite a bit from that guy in the future as well. Rouge Insurance was apparently a pro team. What happened to the pro teams? Axel Laurence. joining Jayco. Jayco's going back to World Tour. Where is Unibet Titema Rockets? There we go. Okay, so our team for next season is this one. We've got Marijn van den Berg, Anton Charmig, Dries de Bond McClay, Mike Teunissen, Adrien Mayer, Sergio Meris, etc. So the current team of Unibet Titema Rockets. Like, it's not a crazy good team, but it's certainly a better team than we have right now, you know? It's definitely a better team. But the tester of something in the chat asked, where's Soudal Quickstep? Right here. Remco Evenepoel, Tim Merlier, Paré-Peintre, no major change. Matthias Kopetzky. In my opinion, I'm surprised that Unibet Titema Rockets was able to sign Matthias Kopetzky and Soudal Quickstep didn't in real life. Because he's clearly good enough to be on a team like that. Landa's retiring, so F in the chat for Landismo. Come on, drop Fs in the chat. But a very odd transfer season here. Signing 2 riders and 5 riders disappearing. Staying in World Tour though. It's suited that drops back to being a pro team. Anyway, so. Okay, what else is there? Can I see the... Oh, yeah, I can vote for this. I can vote for Star of the Year. Pogacar won the Tour World Championships Road Race and ITT, so he is first. I have no clue what these other people did. I completely forgot. But Joao Almeida can be second because he won the Giro, I guess. Skelmos won the Vuelta, but I don't really feel like giving him third place for that. Vingegaard getting second at the Tour de France. I'll drop in Pedersen because I think he won Roubaix in this. Is that correct? He won 2... No, just 2026 is what I need. He won 2 stages at the... No, he got 4th twice. That's useless. He won Roubaix, second at RVV, second at Milano Sanremo. What did Milan do? European champion, Milano Sanremo. Lots of one-day races. Won 3 stages at the Giro, but not a single one at the Tour. Not bad, but not great either. What's the rest of this look like? Mathieu van der Poel. 2026. He won E3 and 2 stages at the Tour de France. That's a bad season. That's a really bad season. That's crazy. I don't know. I'll just give it to Vingegaard. I don't care. I literally don't care. I couldn't care less about this list. There we go. But I'm curious who's going to win it, though. It's going to be Pogacar. Undoubtedly. Can I see that? No, I can't. I've accidentally skipped past the end of October, so that is useless. Oh, that's sad. Can I not see it now? Archive, Star of the Year. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. So Tadej Pogacar won ahead of Joao Almeida and Miss Pedersen. So exactly as I voted. And I want to take a look at the votes. So I'm sorry. Asaka Miyamoto. I don't know who you are, buddy. But he's listing 5 riders and Teddy Pikachu is not one of them. I know I wasn't on the vote list, but as a Japanese freelance journalist, I expect more from you. I expect you to fight against the system, putting my name in anyway. We deserve to be there, Teddy Pikachu. One day we're going to be there. Who else do we know here? Sophie Smith. She's nice in real life. Pogacar first. Let's see if these votes are any good, Sophie. Let's see if these votes are any good. Voted fairly similar to me. Jorgensen in... we've got a bit of a Jonas Vingegaard hater in Sophie Smith. Ay, ay, ay. That's painful. What else do we have? Nacho Labaria. He's also really nice in real life. He's voting Skelmos in second place. My man. Don't be so biased to the Vuelta, buddy. The Vuelta's the best race in the world. I can see. Putting Skelmos in second place, apparently. Ridiculous. Who else is on this list? A bunch of journalists, but I don't care too much. Anyway. Okay, so that's it then. We've got our new team for the rider. I'll move straight to the 1st of January. Then we'll yap about it. Anyway, chat. How do you feel about our pro cyclists so far? We spent 2 years in the depths of the Japanese cycling circuit. The first year we built ourselves up and started winning every now and then. The second season, I'd argue we did pretty good. Can I see it on this page? Yes, I can. We won stage 1 of the Tour of Changnyong together with GC and points. We won the KOM jersey at Tour de Taiwan. That's a bit sad. Tour de Okinawa we won. We won KOM at Tour de Kumano. That's a bit sad as well. At the Tour of Japan, we won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages. And GC, we dominated. Oh, what am I doing? You can't even see my page. Now you can see my page. There we go. All these wins is what I was just yapping about. Won the road race in Japan and the time trial. And we took home 2 stages at Tour de Kyushu in today's episode together with GC. So, way more victories on today. Yes, Chad, I know. I didn't win on Mount Fuji, but you don't have to remind me of my failures. What about Mount Fuji? Chad, please. I'm trying to be happy in life. You're trying to, I'm already broken. Don't need to step on my corpse. Anyway. So yeah, that was our season. 18 victories in total now in our career. And the Japanese jerseys are locked in. Next year, I want to take on the World Championships for the first time. So that's pretty cool. But I think I'll have to tweak the database of our playthrough for that. But I'm probably going to finish the stream relatively soon. But I want to take a look at the start of the next season first. Before we do that. Okay. I don't know my name 123. Okay, that's a very original name, buddy. Hey Benji, I bought my Zwift ride using your link. Thanks. I hope you enjoy riding your Zwift ride, my friend. I'll do so in a bit. After the stream, I was gonna say I'll hop in the shower and then ride my bike, but that's a very weird order of doing things. So I'll probably just ride my bike and then hop in the shower. Because I want to do a bit of a test to see where my level is on the bike. Because a lot of people have like these moments in a year where their training is better than other. For me, it's really like divided in parts. The first 5 months of the year, January to May, my training's really good. Then the Tour de France arrives, PCM release arrives, the Vuelta arrives, and I've got so much less time that I focus all my free time on trying to make as much good content during those races, during the PCM release as possible, to the point that I end up neglecting my training a little bit, if not a whole lot during those months. And now I'm in that period where I start getting into it again towards the end of the year, so I don't know where my training is at, and it's annoying to me that I can't figure out how to solve that middle part of my season, you know? Anyway, so my team is this right now. We've got one rider that is on paper better than us, which is Marijn van den Berg, but buddy, that won't take too long. He's a versatile sprinter, so he's not exactly competition of me, so we might be a good combination to have in races. Sadly, Teddy Pikachu can only speak Japanese, so whenever a teammate tells me right at the front of the group, I will not be able to understand that. That's just a sad reality of the language barrier, nothing else. No selfishness or anything, just the language barrier. Dries de Bond, Mike Teunis, and Anton Charmich. McLean. I can work with that. Much better support in races, you know, than the team we just had. The question is, what calendar will we be able to ride at this team? Because, like, we are a very good rider at the moment. Jesus. Teddy Pikachu has 76 mountain, 77 medium mountain, 76 cobblestone, 77 in lots of other stats, Time trial and hills are maybe the weakest points at the moment in sprint stat, but that's fine for now. But schedule-wise, we've got so many options. 127 points to spend as well, so that's nice. I'm liking that. Good. The question is, what World Tour races could we potentially ride? I assume the Tour de France is not in this list. I don't see the Tour de France on the list. I'm sorry, guys. So maybe that will change throughout the year. I don't know. But at the moment, we definitely don't have wildcards for those races. But that's fine, I think. But I do think I'll try to ride a lot of races like this where there's climby terrain where my rider can really compete, you know? So it's not just versatile sprints and cobble races, 1.1 races. But hey, okay. So, I want to take a look at this calendar. So, knowing my rider is a rider that is good at climbing and cobble races, that's going to be my focus throughout the season, obviously. Starting off the season with a race like Trofeo Calvia is fine. I'm okay with that. Grand Prix Cyclist Marseillaise, I could compete with that. There's some stuff to be done there, but I'll do my more important races first. I apparently can't ride the Faune Ardèche Classic because my dates are locked for another race. What race? I'm not riding anything else on the 1st of March. Oh, I am. Omloop is on my list on the left, but is not on my list on the right. That is odd. How does that work, Chad? That's crazy. Because I kind of really wanted to ride the Faune Ardèche Classic. But I'm forced to ride Omloop, which is a race that fits us less. I don't want to ride Omloop. I think I might want to ride Kuurne though, even though that race fits us even less. Knowing that we have 77 cobble, I think riding these 1.1 races in Belgium is an idea, but the problem is, these 1.1 classics in Belgium, I'll show you properly now, like Nokere Koerse, is flat with cobble segments in it. There's no climbs in it. So it doesn't fit us that well. Because it's going to be a reduced sprint, you know? We don't have that skill. Wow. Classic Brugge de Panne. A flat sprint stage. Why would I ride that? That makes no sense. I support for the team, I guess. Eschborn Frankfurt. A lot of these races don't actually fit me as much as I hoped they would. I'm not allowed to ride the Tour de Hungary because I'm currently riding the 4 Jours de Dunkerque. Yes, I want to cancel everything for now. I'm just looking at the races for now. So, flat sprint, uphill kick, that's interesting. Time trial of 15 kilometers, not exactly our thing. Flat, cobbly hill parkour, that fits us. But Tour de Hungary is a race that has mostly sprint stages, but then one proper mountain stage. I kind of feel like riding the Tour de Hungary instead. What do you think, chat? I reckon I'll switch that. It's going to cost me 20 points to switch that. That is so much. I'm riding the Mercantour, which is a parkour that I really like and I want to win that race. Massive climbs in here. Colmian, Couillol, and the Valberg climb. So that's a race we're definitely doing. Let's take a look at the rest of the season first. Vastgoed Heil Sepel, a race that we can never be good at. Andorra Morabank, we can't race that because it's on the same day as the Japanese national champion. That's stupid. Who decides to put a race on the same day as the national championships? Balwaze Belgium Tour. Cobbly parkour, but this is a stage we can compete in. The hilly stage in Verviers. Verviers, whatever you want to call it. Tour d'Alsace we cannot ride, but this is a parkour I really want to ride. I think I want to change a lot about this. I don't know about you, but I really want to ride mountainous races because that's been lacking. So I don't feel like riding the Baloise Belgium Tour. I feel like riding the Route d'Occitanie and take on this mountain stage. What do you think, chat? Do you think it's a good decision to take out these Belgian stage races that are maybe not pro races and ride smaller races with actual mountain stages in it? Because I think that will be more fun. Tour de l'Ain? That's one I'll definitely ride. There we go. That's a confirmation. Tour of Denmark, someone says in chat, but that parkour does not fit me at all, so I'm sorry that's not happening. I cannot ride the Czech Tour because my team wants me to ride a flat sprint in Cyclassics Hamburg. Ouch. I do want to ride this parkour though. Crow race at the end of the year? That's a mountain. That's also a mountain. I think I'll do that. We spent 14 points now. But I think I need to start by fixing the first part of the season. Because starting with Calvia's fine. Then Étoile de Bessèges afterwards. Uphill sprint on day 1. 2 flat sprints afterwards. Mont Bouquet climb on stage 4. That's interesting. And a 9-kilometer time trial on the final day. I think that's okay to write that. Tour de la Provence. Echelons on day 2. What's my flat stat? We can see it on the right bottom here. Left bottom, sorry. 73 flat. It's not bad. Manosque hilly stage on the final day. I'm less eager for that one than I am for Bessèges, because Bessèges has a mountaintop finish. Remember when back in the day, Provence had actual mountain stages like Chalet Renard, the first half of Mont Ventoux. That was in this race back in the day. Tour des Alpes Maritimes has actual climbing stages. So I think I want to add that race. And the class... Oh, I cannot click on that. Well, let's wait. Let's first watch the profile of Classic of this one-day race. The Classic VAR has a 1.5 kilometers, 8.9% climb. If I ride Alpes Maritimes, I have to ride Classic VAR because that's a combination in real life and it's realistic to do so. Let's confirm that. 101 points left. Very French-focused February. I guess I could ride Provence in support of my team. Maybe. Then again, I'll be doing too much racing, I think. I'm considering taking out Tour de la Provence. I don't know. I think I will. There we go. If I don't feel like riding it, we have enough races here, you know, to work with. My team that wants me to take on Omloop and Tirreno Adriatico. Tirreno with the Sassotetto climb, so I think that is the Sassotetto climb. What year is that? 2023? I think 2023 version, right? Because I think they shortened that climb in real life because of the wind. And because of that, Roglic was able to come back after being dropped on the climb and won the sprint. Vaguely remember that. But if I am riding Tirreno and Omloop, I think I need to add Cure because I'd like to do the full opening weekend then. But I don't think I'll be adding much more than that. But I do want to ride Grand Prix de Nam because it's basically AliExpress Paris-Roubaix. We're spending a lot of points right now, I know, but I really want to do it. Brugge de Panne, I don't feel it. It's a flat sprint, guys. Come on. I'm not riding that shit. It's a World Tour race, I know, but I'm not feeling that. Sorry. That race is gone. Okay. That's our first 3 months of the year, I think. So Tirreno will be a big goal for the team, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Second part of the season is Okay, our team wants us to ride the Tour of Flanders, as we can see on the left top of the screen. That is going to be difficult, but I am looking forward to that. But if we do that, then it feels weird that we're not riding more Cobble Classics in the run-in. Why can't we ride E3, Gent-Wevelgem? Gent doesn't really fit us, but maybe a Dwars door Vlaanderen. Can I select Dwars door Vlaanderen? I cannot. So that is not an option. No. Brabantse Pijl is a race that should on paper fit us relative. Nah, not really. Not the PCM version. On PCM, it's a versatile sprint. Trobro Leon. That's also a very fun race to ride. I'm okay with that. Do we do anything in between here? Tour de Jura Cyclist is uphill. Tour de Doux as well. If we do the Tour de Doux, then we might as well ride the Tour de Jura as well. Grand Bressançon Doux also, but that's on the same day as Brabantse Pijl, which doesn't fit us, so I'll switch that around. I just clicked on two things and that was by accident. I'm going to cancel what I just changed because I don't know what I just changed. I want to take out Brabantse Pijl. That's what I wanted to do. I want to add Grand Bressançon Doux and add Jura. That's it. So that will cost me 17 points, which is a lot. Scrapper says, not gonna lie, the Pikachu series is worthy successor to Rembe. I'm happy you say that. It's a bit different for me because it's a live stream, so the series is less popular just because it's a live stream. Because not everyone has the time to watch 2-hour live streams every time. But on the other hand, it's also less edited. It's easier to make for me. But Rembe is special in my heart after creating it. I don't think I'll top that on PCM anytime soon, that series. Trobro Leon, then 4 jours de Dunkerque. I'm really feeling Hungary. I can win GC at Hungary. It's going to cost me 20 points to switch that. But I'm going to do it. There we go. That's a switch up. 36 points left. Mercantour we ride. Boucle de la Mayonnaise, flat. Literally flat. 10 points to remove that. That's a lot. That's a lot of points. I'll do it. I'm spending a lot of points in the first half of the season, I know, but I'm hoping that throughout the season we can gain more points. Helen Vosgoed Heelse Pijl. That's some scum race. Tour of Slovenia. I'm low-key feeling that race, but it's also not a godlike race for me. But I really want to take on Route d'Occitanie and so forth. Then again, a 34-kilometer time trial. Jesus. That's insanity. Sibiu Cycling Tour is climbing. We've got Balealac. And the Paltinis Arena is the final climb on the third stage. So that's good that we're riding it. Tour of Austria also climbing with Alpendorf. But I'm kind of surprised that there's no mountaintop finish like this. Look at this climb. The Hochtor climb. 15 kilometers at 9%, up to 18.7%. There is no way that climb is that steep in real life. I don't believe that. Anyway, lots of punchy stages. After that, on paper, the Tour de Wallonie. But I'm not feeling the Tour de Wallonie. So I think I'm going to remove the Tour de Wallonie and I'll add the Tour Alsace, which is a race that does very much fit us, and we can win that. Starts with a 2-kilometer prologue, but then Planche de Belfier, also Lac Blanc on stage 4. That is definitely happening. 11 points left. Last part of the season starts with Tour de l'Ain. We can't ride the Czech Tour because we're riding on paper the C-Classics Hamburg. Were there any World Tour races here that I didn't notice? Nope. Little Deutschland Tour, I assume, doesn't have a climb. Nope. There's not much on our menu for the last part of the season. I added Crow Race myself already. This is fine for now, to be honest. We can still change our calendar later, you know, so this is all good. But we need to make sure the rest of our job is done here. We can request certain riders for certain races, but we cannot request other leaders. That's good to know. Glog is in this team. I didn't even notice that. I think I noticed that last stream, but not this time. Senna Man as well. That's a very talented rider, by the way, Senna Man. He's on the Alpecin team in real life. Valgren is in this team as well. But he's only on 4K, so I assume that his stats are shit these days. Anyway. Chat asks, Jasper asks, for which team are you racing? We are racing for Unibet Titema Rockets at the moment. And I think our next step is replying to our trainer. Winter preparation. So how did this winter go? I did a big preparation in order to be ready for a ride from the races. I think the middle one is the way to go. Because the lower one is bullshit. Because we have a race at the end of January already. The Trofeo Calvia. So I think the second one is the best. Because then we'll be at okay form there. But not at our best. Confirm. There we go. Let's skip one race right now. And let's take a look at our teammate requests. Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Okay, so objective-wise. So last season we played it simple. We had one objective, and after that, we just stayed on green the entire time on a normal fitness level, so that we could train as much as possible, instead of focusing on races and instead of resting. Because whenever we put in a target, for the people that don't know, like here for example, on the yellow and red weeks, we can't train as well, so we don't get as much level ups and stats upping. But because we're now a better team, in a better team, we're now in season 3 of our playthrough, I think I'll have more than one goal this season. I don't like one thing, Chad. Because our wildcards have not been accepted, Titema Rockets, the team wants to go to Tirreno, their wildcard has not been accepted yet, and as a consequence, we cannot add those races to our schedule, to our objectives yet. Because of that, I don't really know how to make this yet. Because let's say RVV comes in, then I'd like to be at my best at a race like RVV. But we won't be able to add it yet at the moment, so we'll have to do so later in the year, I think. Is there any races I specifically want to train for already? I don't know. The Japanese road race has a relatively easy parkour. Actually, I'm saying that, but I don't think it's as easy as the parkour shows. The question is also, my rider going to Tirreno Adriatico, what is the likelihood that I win a stage at Tirreno Adriatico? I think it's not super high either. So is it worth not putting an objective on a race like Tirreno Adriatico and instead putting an objective on a race that I can actually compete for, like Tour of Austria, Sibiu Cycling Tour, stuff like that? Because I think if we put an objective on Sibiu Cycling Tour and or on these 2 races, hypothetically, just putting it out there for now, then we're going to be so incredibly good on those 2 races that we could win both those races and their GC. They're 2.1 races. They're not even .pro races, so that's a downside. I don't need to be at a fantastic form to compete in the Japanese national championships. I think I win that either way. The Mercon Tour is a nice race, but I don't think I want to like all out focus on that either. This is difficult actually. Because I want to be in solid form for most of the year, you know? Hungary, another race that fits us. Frankfurt does not. You're right, World Champs comes afterwards as well. I hadn't even thought of that. Alsace comes after Austria and so forth. So I think I'll keep it on green for now, and I'll think about this in the next stream because I'm not really feeling it at the moment. But I actually think I'm going to be ending the stream pretty soon. We've done quite a lot today. I can't see it here. I can see it here, though, on 2026. We've won 2 stages at the Tour de Kyushu, and we won GC. We ended the season. We looked at what happened in the last season. We looked at the transfers. We're in our new team now, the Titama Rockets, and I'm ready to start cooking in the future, to be honest. Our skill points are gradually growing. Our calendar is basically made for the next season. And I can't wait to see what we can achieve with this team. Because on paper, it's a much better team than our previous team. So at least we have proper team support now. But I'm afraid that's the end of today's live stream chat. As always, thank you for watching. I enjoy this series quite a lot, these live streams. I hope you are as well. And if you enjoyed this live stream, then tap that like button. If you are new to these videos and you haven't subscribed yet, tap the subscribe button. I've got plenty of content coming in the next couple of months, next couple of weeks. In the next few days, I've got a career mode episode coming on our PCM career mode, and it's a pretty good episode, so tune in for that. If you want to financially support this channel, you can do so by becoming a channel member here. Every now and then you'll get early access to videos through that. But that's my story for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.